Hello everybody, this is WeFit Lover, and this is week 11 on WW Freestyle. Wait, what? Today is Thursday, May 23rd, and I'm going to weigh in with you for a couple different ways today. One is that I was recently on MyNetDiary again, and I was tracking for the last few weeks, and I had a lot of things going on, as you knew from my previous video, that I have a lot of problems with my neck and my shoulder and headaches. Well, that didn't end. I got put on the methylprednisolone, and it ended up doing okay for the time being, but wasn't strong enough to kick out the migraines. So I had to go back to my doctor, and I had to be put back on something else called prednisone. More steroids. Oh yeah, steroids and weight loss just love each other, let me tell you. Needless to say, the methylprednisolone decided that it was going to let me eat a ton of food this last week. I probably ate between, since I was counting calories, between 1,250 and 1,600, and most of those days were around the 1,400 to 1,600. And I was not allowed to work out because of all the aches and pains, and no one wanted me working out with a migraine, let alone myself. So that was exciting on the scale when I woke up this morning to a whopping 183.4. Whoa. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. So on top of that, somewhere in the mix, constipation came along and said, I know, let's add more to the mix because you're not already suffering. So that's fun. Got that all figured out. And I said, you know what? As I was doing this with the lovely methyl going through my system, I just said to myself, I wasn't allowed to take any kind of Advils or AIDSs, nothing like that. I had to be off of my St. John's wort completely, so I completely unmedicated myself. One, to rule out other medications, and two, because I didn't want any side effects with anything else. I wanted this to work completely solely on its own without any interruptions. And so I only was on Tylenol and the methylprednisolone, and that was it. And my multivitamin. And what else? Oh, and fish oil. And Claritin, because it was allowed. That was it. So I was weaning down of the St. John's wort, and I thought, oh yeah, maybe I'm weaning down off of this. Maybe that's what's causing the migraines, right? Wrong. Wrong. Very, very wrong. The reason I know I'm wrong about that is because when I felt somewhat better about 3 days ago, I pulled my arm back and I scooted back on the bed, and when I did so, I heard a snap back here in my shoulder blade. When said snap happened, my headache disappears. Riddle me that, right? Now, it could have been a coincidence because before that I was doing things of random acts of things that the people on the Discovery Channel do, but we're not going to talk about that. That's not here on this channel. It could have been a coincidence. Now, I don't know if any of you migraine sufferers out there have had that happen and your headache gets better, but it worked for me, so I said, okay, let's do that again, right? But the other part of the equation is the shoulder. And when you move back, it caused me and my headache to go, wow, hey, no more headache. And so I thought, okay, I'm clear, I'm good, right? So I'm like walking like this, like on eggshells, because I did not want to have a headache again, because I had a constant headache for 17 days straight. I had one day that actually did not have a migraine until that evening. I couldn't figure out why. So I went about my day. I thought, good, I'm feeling better. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to try on tops because I need some new summer tops. It's going to be 100 degrees here down in Georgia. We're like, go to the store, trying on tops, get home, migraine starts up. I'm like, wait a minute, what? And I'm like, what did I do different? What did I do? Here, I realize I'm agitating my stupid shoulder and neck problem again. And I'm like, great. Ruling things out. And now we find, going back to the doctor, it's partly cervical radiopathy, which we thought one of those things could have been that one at the beginning, and definite diagnosis on that fibromyalgia. Super fun. Next steps, neurology. So after all that, of course I gained a bunch of weight from the beautiful steroids. I had enough. And not only was I having super mood swings and tracked really well, I tracked everything, it was really good that way, but due to the circumstances, I got really bored of, I'll say I missed being on Weight Watchers because I just like the psychological thing it gives me that makes me want to work out more, and if it wasn't for my other stuff going on, I probably would have worked out a lot more. And I was getting so close to get to that number 23, and maybe I just gave up too soon. I don't know. All I know is that I did good for a few weeks of MyNet. I got some weight off, whatever, but I came this weekend with a vengeance because of the pills and because of my diet, lifestyle changes, hunger. It was just too much of good thing, too much of good healthy foods. I did really well on eating, but just too much of it. And I also bought an air fryer. Now you can cook very healthy with the air fryer. I just upped a few things that I probably shouldn't have eaten, and I wanted to try new meals and things I've never tried before with it, and I really kind of went overboard on my air fryer because who doesn't when they first get it, they get excited. I know this all has contributing factors of how my week went. This week, the reason I say, hey, I'm weighing in for Weight Watchers is because, I'm sorry, WW Freestyle, is because I'm going to go back on it for another week, and I'm going to try again because I'm crazy, and I figure, what do I have to lose at this point? But wait, a lot of people who are losing 100 pounds or more on this program are doing this exact thing, so listen up to this, because this is what we're going to try, and we're going to see if you guys want to do this too, and we can all do it together and lose lots of weight this week. Okay, so number 1, 0 points. Do 2 proteins a day. Measure that stuff. 3 to 4 ounces of fish, chicken, meat, whatever you eat, lean meat. Count everything else as 2 points. Number 2, 0 point fruit servings a day. 2 of those. 1 banana for me is 2 points because it's high in sugars, even though they're natural sugars. If you have an orange and an apple, great, good for you. More power to you, do it. 1 0 starch a day. Black beans, corn, beans. Number 4, only 0 point food is going to be our vegetables. So we can eat as many vegetables as we want. Build your meal around your 0 points. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to not eat a 0 point food by itself because then I will probably be hungry. That's just the way it had been in the past. I'm going to use my 0 point as a foundation of each meal. And I'm going to remember that 0 points are not 0 calories. I'm going to try to earn a blue dot every day, as many days as I can. Nobody's perfect, but if I tell myself that, at least I will try my best. And I'm not going to eat if I'm not hungry. I think that's one of the biggest things is we have to think we have to eat. We have to eat. But if we only eat when we're hungry, then because we'll be eating less, and then we'll be, of course, having some kind of calorie deficit in this whole equation. And then of course exercise, drink more water, and limit empty calories. Limit empty calories like alcohol intake. That's one thing I'm not going to be doing anyway because I'm back on a prednisone, which is super freaking cool, and I'm now on muscle relaxers to heal my shoulder and my neck until it can be arranged to feeling better and staying off of it. So not really a lot of great arm exercises I'm going to be doing this week, but I am going to be doing lots of walking if I can, as long as my headache is gone. That's the plan. Such a fun ride, isn't it, guys? Okay, and gals. Oh, so I have to ask you guys a question. Couple things. 1, are you going to do this program with me where we limit our 0 points a day? 2, if you know somebody with fibromyalgia or just have somebody who's going through this kind of stuff, give this video a like, and also please subscribe to this video because you're not going to want to miss a lot of the things coming up. It's going to be weird, but it's going to be informative, and it's also going to be a mix of all kinds of stuff. I'm going to go from weigh-ins to recipes to some reviews on some new products that I'm coming in with, and I'm going to be researching some meal subscription boxes. So I'm not sure which one yet. I'm trying to narrow it down. If you know of a good one that would be followed well with WW Freestyle and also with somebody who's gluten-free and dairy-free, I have a few in mind, but if you have an idea of something, tell me below. I'd love to hear it. If you are subscribed to a box below, tell me that too. I also have a few clothing subscription boxes that I'm going to be doing later on, and I just look forward to, oh, and I also have another box, so just kind of lifestyle stuff I'd like to share with you. And just get your take on it and see if you're interested in those kinds of things. And if there's any other things you want me to make a video on, please put that down below. I know this was a really long, really informative, and so this week coming up, I guess I'm going to count this next week as end of week 12. And that would pretty much kind of put me at 3 months on WW Freestyle. I'm just gonna count it as that, even though the last 3 weeks, or 2.5 weeks have been on my net, but it's gonna be a lot easier in the long run, I think, if I just count it as 3 months on WW. Just as a disclaimer, that's how I'm gonna do it this next video. I wanna see how much I can lose after this big gain I had. I have not had a gain like this in years, and I think it's because of a tag on steroid. But I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. And I'm gonna do lots of swimming because it's nice outside and really stupidly hot out. And if you guys live in the South and it's balls hot, please let me know where you're from. Let me know what your temperatures are this weekend or supposed to be. And I will look at all of you next week with some new awesome updates here from We Fit Lover. Thanks again, guys. Bye.